Cut. That was awesome. That was great. How'd it feel? Really good. That was great. Oh yeah? That was awesome. It was a thrill. One of the first things that I felt excited about, one of the first reasons I wanted to be involved in a sequel was to get to work with these people again. The cast is wonderful, and the crew is equally wonderful. And so the ability to get to work with these friends again was a no-brainer. Finding the right actors, it's not a binary exercise. You have to really think about what the group looks like, how everything works as a whole. Their interactions are key. And also audiences really need to sort of see everyone in a distinct way, and if there's too much of a sort of visual overlap, people can get confused more than you think. Like, it's weird how confused audiences can get. Even as a filmmaker, you think, there's no way they're gonna get these two actors confused, and people, you hear anecdotally, people saying, God, I couldn't tell. I did the show Felicity a million years ago, and I remember, like, they tested the pilot, and people were like, I couldn't tell the difference between Ben and Noel, and I was like, what? They look so different, what? But I do think that we were insanely lucky with April Webster and Alyssa Weisberg, who are our casting directors. They helped us find the greatest actors for the roles, and we were very lucky to get them to come in to Star Trek Into the Darkness and come back and reprise their roles. Casting Benedict was like a little bit like shooting the movie in IMAX, which is that, like, theoretically, you know how impactful it's going to be. You know how incredibly cool it's going to be. But until you're actually in the IMAX theater looking at that frame and you see how much better it looks, when you're on the set with him and he's actually doing his thing and elevating everything and blowing your mind with how good he is, you can't know beforehand what you know when you're there and what you're watching when you see the film. He's unbelievable. The thing that was always the balance making the film is the thing that I'm most excited for the audience to experience, and that was always the massive scope, scale, action-adventure, parallel with the intimacy, comedy, and sort of heart of the characters. And to me, it's like, I want people to experience that sort of balancing act of these really, interpersonal, sweet, big-hearted relationships with this insane, intense, crazy, hyper-real, sequences. The threat to the Earth, the chases in San Francisco, the attacks in London, the action sequences in the beginning on one planet or in the middle in another, these space battles. There are all these moments that are just, huge and larger than life, but at the core of all these sequences are these characters that I think really do make you laugh and that you fall in love with. So I'm just looking forward for the audience to experience that and all the, sort of the balance of those two things.
Captain, I believe you have made the right decision.
When I was approached by the studio about doing this movie in 3D, I was hesitant because I felt like it was a gimmick. I'd seen so many movies that weren't, well presented in 3D, that felt like it got in the way for me, in terms of watching the film. So we did some tests. We took the first movie that we did and we converted some scenes. And it was very hard to deny how cool it looked. And I thought, oh, okay, I kind of get seeing the ship at warp, seeing the Enterprise going through a debris field, seeing these action sequences, even just being on the bridge. That dimension was admittedly very cool. And I knew we were going to shoot the movie all exteriors in IMAX, which is, a massive format, a huge negative, which means that the image quality is so much better. And I thought, if there's ever a movie that could benefit from 3D and IMAX, it's Star Trek Into Darkness, because it felt like we had these massive set pieces, great action sequences, things that could just really translate beautifully into that. And because I was shooting the movie anamorphically with these anamorphic lenses, it meant we were going to be shooting in 2D, knowing we were going to do a conversion. So I thought, this is going to work, because I'm going to do my 2D version. This was what I cared about. We'll do a kind of icing on the cake version in 3D. And with 3D IMAX, it'll be like nothing anyone's ever seen before. So it felt like a way to do what I wanted to do, but also to kind of, give the movie kind of a little added, jolt of kind of added value and making it a little bit more of a roller coaster ride.